dramatic that they will screenshot their bank account just to prove to themselves it's real. Not 3 years, not 3 months, 3 weeks. And the wildest part, that person has absolutely no idea it's coming. They have no logical reason to expect it. Their current circumstances give zero indication that anything is about to shift. In fact, if anything, things have looked harder recently, not easier. The pressure has been building instead of releasing. The answers have felt further away instead of closer. And yet, something is moving in the invisible architecture of their life that their natural eyes cannot detect. Connections being made, doors being unlocked from the inside, resources being rerouted through channels that haven't opened yet, but are about to swing wide without warning. I don't know if that person is you, but something told you to click this video. Something made you stop scrolling at exactly this moment. And in my experience, that kind of something is never random. So, stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you might be the most important financial and spiritual conversation you have all year. Let me talk to you about something that doesn't get named often enough. There is a specific kind of emotional fatigue that comes from financial struggle that isn't just about money. It goes deeper than that. It gets into your bones. It changes the way you walk into rooms. It quietly rewires the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you deserve, and whether the good things in life are actually available to someone like you. You know the fatigue I'm talking about. You've been carrying it for a while now, maybe years. Maybe so long that you've started to think of it as just your personality, your default state, the background noise of your existence. You smile at the right moments. You keep showing up. You say, I'm working on it. Or, things are moving. When people ask, because the truth is too layered to explain in a casual conversation and too heavy to hand to someone who might not know what to do with it. The truth is that you are tired of being strong about this. You are tired of reframing the struggle as a lesson. You are tired of watching people around you receive the financial openings you've been praying for, while your prayers seem to sit in a pile somewhere, waiting for a processing day that keeps getting postponed. And underneath all of that tiredness, underneath the performed optimism and the quiet doubt, and the prayers that sometimes feel like they're going nowhere, there is a question you've been almost too afraid to ask out loud. Is it actually going to happen for me? Or have I been wrong to believe this whole time? You have not been wrong. And by the time this video is over, I want that truth to live somewhere in you that doubt cannot reach. Unexpected money has a different source than expected money. And that changes everything. Let's start with something foundational, because how you understand the nature of this coming financial shift will determine how you receive it, how you respond to it, and how long you keep it. Expected money, a paycheck, a planned bonus, a scheduled payment operates within the economy of human systems. It follows predictable rules. It rewards predictable inputs. Clock in, clock out, get paid. Perform, deliver, receive compensation. That system is real and it matters, and there's nothing wrong with it. But unexpected money operates in a completely different economy. The economy of divine intervention. The economy where the rules of scarcity and limitation and logical proportionality simply do not apply in the same way. When God releases unexpected financial favor into a person's life, it doesn't follow the formula. It doesn't ask whether you've put in enough hours or made enough connections or built a big enough platform. It arrives through channels that were invisible until they weren't. It comes in amounts that seem disproportionate to the circumstances that preceded it. It lands in seasons where the person receiving it had every reason to stop expecting it. That's the signature of divine unexpected money. It makes no human sense, and it makes perfect divine sense. The financial shift coming your way is not going to be the logical result of a strategy you've been executing. It is going to be the evidence of a God who kept his word even when you had trouble keeping your faith. I. And that distinction matters because it determines where your gratitude lands and how your stewardship flows. When you know it came from God, you treat it differently. You hold it differently. You give from it differently. And that posture of honoring the source is what keeps the channel open for more. The reason large amounts come suddenly instead of gradually. Have you ever wondered why God doesn't just send a little bit more every month? A gradual, comfortable, predictable increase that never requires extraordinary faith because it never produces extraordinary results. The answer is more intentional than you might think. Gradual increase builds comfort. Sudden, large, unexpected increase builds testimony, and testimony is one of the most powerful tools in the arsenal of a person whose life is meant to impact others beyond just themselves. When money comes in slightly more than before, the human mind attributes it to luck or to working a little harder or to market conditions or to any number of explainable factors. There's nothing wrong with gradual growth, but there's also nothing undeniable about it. Nothing that demands an explanation that points beyond human effort. But when a large amount of money arrives unexpectedly, when the shift is so sudden and so significant that no reasonable explanation covers the full distance between where you were and where you now are, that testimony becomes bulletproof. Nobody can argue with undeniable. Nobody can rationalize away a transformation that is too dramatic, too sudden, and too precisely timed to be a coincidence. That bulletproof testimony is what God is building in your life. Not just a financial upgrade that nobody can explain away. A story that when you tell it with honesty and detail makes people rethink their own doubts about whether God moves in real, material, measurable ways in real people's real lives. Your testimony is a weapon against hopelessness in other people. And God is building it to be as powerful as possible, which means the shift is going to be large enough and unexpected enough that nobody who knows your story will be able to shrug it off. What the waiting season has been building in you without your permission. I want to tell you something about the season you're in that you might not have considered. The difficulty of this financial waiting season, the stretching, the going without, the creative problem solving required when resources are thin, the emotional endurance, the maintenance of faith in the absence of evidence. All of that has been building something in you that is extraordinarily valuable. And it built it without asking your permission, without announcing what it was doing. Without giving you the option to skip the process and jump to the result. Because that's how genuine character formation works. It doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen in ease. It happens in resistance, the way a muscle only grows when it's pushed against something harder than itself. You have developed in this season a relationship with money that most wealthy people never develop. You understand its absence in a way that makes its presence meaningful rather than mundane. You know how to make decisions under financial pressure, how to prioritize, how to sacrifice, how to find creative solutions when the obvious options are gone. Those skills don't disappear when the money arrives. They become the management system for everything that flows in. They are the reason that the large amount heading toward you will not evaporate the fat the way it does for people who receive abundance without the wisdom that shortage builds. The waiting season was a curriculum, and you have been graduating one hard day at a time from a program that most people never even enrolled in. The diploma is the breakthrough, and it's closer than you think. The invisible pipeline that's been carrying your money to you right now, in this moment, as you're reading or listening to these words, something is moving toward you through channels you cannot see. I want you to think about how a pipeline works. You can't see the water moving through underground pipes. You have no visual confirmation that anything is happening. The surface of the ground above the pipe looks exactly the same whether the water is flowing or not. But when you turn on the tap, when the conditions are right for the water to emerge, it comes. Not because something started in that moment, because something was always moving and the moment of emergence finally arrived. Your financial breakthrough is in the pipeline. It has been moving. The people who are about to be instruments of it are in motion. The circumstances are aligning. The timing is resolving. And none of it is visible yet from where you're standing. But that invisibility is not the same as inactivity. God has been building your pipeline for longer than you know. He started routing the resources, the relationships, and the opportunities toward you before you started praying for them. The way a river starts moving long before it reaches the valley it's meant to fill. The tap is almost ready to open. And when it does, the water that emerges will not represent a moment of creation. It will represent the arrival of something that has been in motion for a very long time. You don't need to start the pipeline. You need to be present at the tap when it opens. Stay ready, stay rooted. The water is coming. Why God chose you for this specific financial breakthrough? This question deserves a direct answer because I know it lies somewhere in your mind, even if you don't always say it aloud. Why me? Of all the people who are struggling, who are praying, who are believing, why would this be for me specifically? Here is the answer. And I want you to receive it without deflecting it or minimizing it. God chose you for this specific breakthrough because of the specific combination of gifts, experiences, relationships, and calling that exist only in you. There is no other person on earth who occupies your exact position in the network of human lives. No one who has your particular history, your particular pain, your particular set of relationships that extend in the specific directions yours extend. The breakthrough coming to you is shaped to your life the way a key is shaped to a specific lock. It fits your story because it was designed for your story. It arrives in your life because your life is the exact context in which it will do the most good, not just for you, but for everyone in your sphere of influence. You weren't chosen because you're perfect. You weren't chosen because your faith has been without doubt or your effort without fatigue. You were chosen because God, who sees the full landscape of human need and human potential, determined that what He is releasing will produce the greatest possible fruit when it lands in your life and flows through your hands into the lives of others. That is not arrogance to believe. That is stewardship to accept. And accepting it, really accepting it in your bones, is part of what positions you to receive it. You are not here by accident. Neither is the money. The spiritual condition that unlocks the financial door. I want to be honest with you about something because you deserve honesty more than you need comfort. There is a spiritual condition that tends to precede large, unexpected financial releases in people's lives. And it's not what most people expect it to be. It's not perfect faith. It's not unwavering confidence. It's not the absence of doubt or the presence of some particularly powerful prayer. It's surrender. The specific kind of surrender where you stop trying to control the timing, the method, and the amount. Where you release your grip on the specific plan you had for how this was supposed to work out and open your hands to receive whatever God chooses to send, however He chooses to send it, on whatever timeline He deems perfect. That surrender is harder than it sounds because surrender can feel like giving up. It can feel like admitting defeat. It can feel frighteningly close to losing hope, even though it's actually the purest form of hope that exists. The hope that says, I trust you more than I trust my own plan. The moment of surrender is often the moment right before the breakthrough. Because when you stop holding the door shut with your own agenda, when you stop insisting that God work through the specific mechanism you've been watching you create space for Him to open a door you weren't even guarding. Is there something you need to surrender today? Some plan, some expectation, Some timeline that you've been gripping so tightly that you haven't had a free hand to receive what God is actually trying to give you. I release it, not passively, actively, with intention and faith and the deliberate choice to trust a plan that is bigger and wiser than your own. That open hand is the last thing that needs to happen before the unexpected money lands in it. The practical steps that position you for the money's arrival. Faith without corresponding action is incomplete. So, let's talk practically about what you can do right now, today, to position yourself for the financial shift that's coming. First, examine your financial environment. This means looking honestly at the habits, systems, and beliefs that currently govern your relationship with money. Are there areas where you've been consistently undisciplined? Not from laziness, but from hopelessness. Places where you stopped managing carefully because managing carefully felt pointless when there was so little to manage. Start managing carefully now. Not because the discipline itself creates the breakthrough, but because the discipline signals to God and to your own subconscious that you are taking your financial stewardship seriously. You are treating the current small as preparation for the coming large. Second, clear the clutter. Financial, relational, and mental. Old debts you've been avoiding dealing with, make a plan, even a small one, and start. Relationships that drain your energy and faith without adding anything, create some distance. Mental clutter, the negative financial narratives you've been rehearsing, consciously replace them, one thought at a time, with truth. Third, put yourself in motion. Whatever the next step is in front of you, the application, the conversation, the creative project, the business idea, take one concrete step toward it this week. Not because that step guarantees the outcome, but because God tends to meet people in motion rather than in stillness. Fourth, practice generosity now. Whatever you can give, however small, give it. Generosity is a spiritual accelerant. It declares that you operate from abundance even before abundance is fully visible. And that declaration, backed by action, moves things in the invisible world that nothing else moves quite as effectively. Position yourself. The money is coming toward you. Make sure you're facing the right direction when it arrives. How to handle the emotions when it actually happens. This section might seem premature. Why talk about receiving the money before it's here? But I want to prepare you for this because being emotionally unprepared for a blessing can be just as costly as being financially unprepared for one. When the large unexpected money actually arrives, when it becomes undeniably real, when the account balance changes, or the opportunity manifests, or the call comes through, your emotional response is going to be complex. It will not be simple joy. It will be a mixture of things that might surprise you. Relief so deep it physically releases in your body. Tears that seem to come from nowhere. A strange disorientation, almost grief. As the identity of person who is struggling financially begins to dissolve and you don't yet fully know who you are without that struggle defining you. Guilt. Sometimes the strange guilt of receiving something large when you know others around you are still waiting. All of these responses are normal. All of them are human. And none of them mean that something is wrong or that you don't deserve what you've received. Give yourself permission to feel the full complexity of the moment. Don't perform gratitude for an audience before you've actually experienced it privately. Let the emotion move through you completely in prayer, in tears, in quiet before you decide what to say to anyone or what to do first. The breakthrough deserves a real private, unhurried response before it gets a public one. Honor it with the depth of presence it earned through the depth of journey that preceded it. The generational ripple effect of this one financial shift. I want to zoom out now, way out, and show you something about the scope of what is actually headed toward your life. What God is releasing into your financial reality is not contained to your lifetime. It is generational. And I don't mean that in a vague, theoretical way. I mean it in a very specific, very practical way. The decisions you make with the unexpected money, the investments, the education you fund, the businesses you start or support, the habits you model for the children and young people watching your life. Those decisions have a ripple effect that extends decades beyond the moment of the initial financial shift. Your children, or the children in your family or community who look to you, will grow up with a completely different reference point for what is financially possible for someone with your background, your story, your starting point. They will inherit not just whatever wealth you build, but the belief system that allowed you to build it. And that inherited belief system is worth more than any dollar amount. Your grandchildren, people who don't exist yet, will grow up in a family that carries a different relationship with money, with faith, with what is possible when a person refuses to give up in the middle of a waiting season. The choice you're making right now, the choice to keep believing, to stay faithful, to receive this message and let it strengthen your faith, instead of scrolling past it, that choice is already a generational decision. Because the testimony that comes out of your breakthrough will be told and retold in your family line for decades. You are not just fighting for yourself. You are setting a trajectory for people who haven't been born yet. Fight accordingly. The final word before the money arrives, I want to leave you with something that I hope you carry long after this video ends. The large unexpected money coming toward you is real, but it is not the most important thing about this season of your life. The most important thing is who you became while you waited for it. The faith that held when everything said let go. The character that developed when comfort was unavailable. The empathy that grew from genuinely understanding lack. The creativity that was forced into existence by limitation. The gratitude that deepened because you really learned what it feels like to need. Those qualities forged in the fire of a financial season that pushed you past every comfortable limit are the true wealth of this chapter. The money is coming to join those qualities, to give them resources and reach. But the money is not greater than what it's coming to serve. You are not waiting to become someone when the money arrives. You already became someone in the waiting. The money is just the world catching up to the person God already made you into. And that person refined, resilient, grateful, purposed is extraordinary, worthy of everything that's coming, ready for everything that requires. The only thing left now is to receive it without apology, without shrinking, without the false humility that says the blessing is too big for you. It's not too big. You were made for exactly this size of blessing, and it is on its way. If you made it to the end of this message, I want you to take a breath, a real one, the kind that fills your chest completely and releases slowly because you just did something important. You chose for the length of this video to let your faith speak louder than your fear, to let possibility be more present than doubt. To sit with the idea that your situation is not the final word on your financial future, and that choice matters more than you know. The large unexpected money headed your way does not need you to have perfect faith. It does not need you to have it all figured out. It does not need you to be further along than you are, or more healed than you are, or more confident than you are. It needs you to be available, open, present, willing to receive what God has authorized without talking yourself out of it or waiting until you feel more worthy. You are worthy now. The breakthrough is moving now. And the only real question is whether you'll be standing in an open posture when it arrives, or whether you'll have talked yourself into a closed position by the time it gets to your door. Stay open, stay ready. Stay rooted in the truth that your waiting was not wasted, your faith was not foolish, and your best financial days are not behind you. They are in front of you, closer than they've ever been, moving faster than the doubt in your head is willing to admit. Get ready, Get genuinely, practically, spiritually ready. Because ready is the last thing you need to be before everything changes. If this message found you at the right moment, if something here landed in a place that needed it, please subscribe to this channel right now and share this video with someone who is in the middle of their own waiting season. Every week we come here to do exactly this. Speak truth into hard seasons, build faith when evidence is thin, and remind the chosen ones that the breakthrough is real and it is coming. You belong in this community. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's walk this road together. God bless you. The money is moving. Don't stop now.